start a pattern. Okay, so everyone that's on right now, thank you so much for joining us. Can you hear me? Can you all hear me? Just put your finger up so I know you can hear me. That's okay, good. So let me start off with this welcoming to our first social and up-close network lounge. And we plan to do this every Tuesday in the month of April and 10:30 in the morning. And Josie will announce at the end, if everything's working on her end, the next subject that we'll be doing. I just want to start off with something with Jim Rohn. I don't know if you're all familiar with Jim, but I love what he wrote. He says, life and business are like the changing seasons. You cannot change the seasons, but you can change yourself. One of the most important things to remember during this time is that you are still in control of your attitude, disciplines, habits, and goals. Do not let the season of fear and uncertainty dictate how you're going to live your life and manage your business as you move further into 2020. We are thrilled, as our first presentation and host for this event, to have your social strategy with us today, who will be covering 5 key points that are crucial to your business at this time. Before we get into this presentation, Josie has a few important housekeeping items to share with you. Josie, can you unmute your microphone? I guess I'm going to have to do this. You have to forgive us. This is the first time we're doing this. So, Josie, you have to unmute your phone for them to hear you. Let's give this a quick whirl.
Okay. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes. So you're into the housekeeping notes, and welcome.
First housekeeping note, unmute the phone. There you go. So welcome everybody. Thanks so much for being here. Just a couple of things. Keep your microphones on mute during the presentation, and by all means you can ask questions. There's a group chat on the right side of your screen that you can write in your questions that Mike and Dominique will do their best to answer after the presentation is done. Now, the presentation itself, Dominique has very kindly created a PDF, so it'll be emailed to you by your social strategy. So they'll have your email address and they're going to send it to you directly. So if you want to take notes, you can, but you don't have to. You will actually get a PDF file of the whole presentation as well. And at the end of this presentation, we're also going to tell you a little bit more about some of the other speakers that we have coming online and the party that we're planning too. So stay tuned about that as well. And up to you, my dear.
Okay, so it gives me great pleasure to introduce Mike Hepburn and Dominique. And Mike is the one waving. And we're just thrilled to have your social strategy working with us this year on our weakness that we had with social media. They are the experts in that, and because it's, it's just Josie and I, and you can't be everything to everyone, and you want to do it well and effective. So we really appreciate our relationship with your social strategy, and we thought with all that is going on now with information overload, that it's important to have as our first topic with Mike and Dominique. So Mike began your social strategy in July 2016 after owning a couple of technology companies for the past 20 years. With a need for an affordable yet full-service digital marketing services in Kingston, Mike created and is the founder of your social strategy. Mike is a lifetime resident of Kingston, and truly wants to ensure the businesses in Kingston area have an affordable solution for your digital marketing needs. Josie, do you want to introduce Dominique?
Yes, it's my pleasure. We're very, very blessed to have met Dominique Tremblay. We call her the delightful and talented Dominique from your social strategy, because she is. And her title is Social Media Manager and Creative Mastermind, and she is. It's been a great, great pleasure working with her and Mike. So Dominique, thank you so much for doing this presentation for all of us. So please, Mike and Dominique, take it away. All yours.
You ladies are wonderful. Thank you for the kind introductions. I just want to make sure everyone can hear me okay.
Just put your fingers up if you can.
Okay. Good, good. So I just want to expand a little bit about what we'll be covering today. So obviously we're facing an unprecedented and almost total disappearance of all channels related to live events like conferences, point of sales, and obviously with that, there's been an increased barrier when it comes to businesses and how to market and continue to sell. So we believe that now is important more than ever for brands and businesses to practice awareness when shaping your client-facing communications and to use social media platforms to your benefit in a world that feels kind of scary and pretty alone. So obviously that's a big task. It's a lot of responsibility to have. So in order to help, we're going to share tips on how you can utilize your social media channels during the pandemic and help keep your business top of mind within the community during these difficult times. You've all worked really, really hard to build the client base that you have. So it's going to be really important to continue to nurture those relationships, but in a digital way. There's no really catch-all solution that works for every single business type, but we want to stress that regardless of what industry you do work in, using social media the correct way is going to be really crucial to keep clients and to make new relationships. So as the ladies mentioned, we'll be sending you each a copy of today's presentation at the end of this meeting, but we've also created a freebie tool which we'll provide to all of our attendees. So our team of social media experts have carefully crafted a really handy document that includes 50 social media topics that you can start using today to promote your business. So obviously these times are tough right now, and it's going to be really important to continue to stay active on social media, but that doesn't mean that we want to inundate our followers with sales and services. So this tool is 50 different creative ways to help you continue to grow your following while showing a more human side to your business. And we know everyone's been really worried about finding ways to be extra creative online. So think of this as our way to help relieve some of that stress. So I'm going to expand a little bit more on your social strategy and what we do. As Gabby mentioned, your social strategy was first started in 2016 by Mike Hepburn. And his idea behind the company was to start a business that was able to provide mom and pop sized funeral homes the opportunity to have top level marketing without the crazy price tag that comes with that. So being affordable while still providing the same quality results as any big corporation is something that we still believe to this day, which is why just over 2 years ago, Mike decided to branch out and offer our services to Kingston. So since then, we've been able to double our client base and are proud to be able to give our local small to medium-sized businesses an affordable fighting chance in the competitive and usually very expensive world of marketing. And a bit more about me. So I've been the social media manager for YSS for just under 2 years now. And it's been a really rewarding experience to get to learn more about the different businesses and industries we have right here in Kingston. And it's also been really rewarding to see firsthand how marketing really helps our businesses flourish. I also help the team with general graphic design projects. So although we are a digital marketing company, we like to remind everyone that we do traditional marketing as well for those who need it. All right, so as Gabby mentioned, we're going to cover 5 points that are going to be crucial to your business now more than ever. As a reminder, we encourage you to use the chat question as you have questions that come up, and we'll make sure to get to those at the end of the presentation. So point 1, revisit your strategy. With a lot of the world shutting down to do their part to practice social distancing, it should come as no surprise that your marketing strategy is probably going to require a little bit of reworking. So if you schedule your posts ahead of time or have paid ads that are running, you want to make sure you take a little bit of time to make sure that they're still relevant to the current state of events in order to come off as being insensitive. So as an example, if you maybe are a restaurant and have advertising going out about weddings or big corporate dinners or large gatherings, now isn't really the time to be advertising things like that. Yes, that's something that people can look forward to in the future. However, now would be a great time to talk about the quality of ingredients that goes into the meals that you're preparing, or the fact that maybe you're offering discounted or free delivery during these times. So if you're someone that only typically posts on your social media networks a couple times a week, now's also a good opportunity to share some local resources from trusted organizations on what they're doing to keep everyone safe. So KFLNA is a really good example of that. They share some updated statistics on what Kingston is doing to keep everyone safe. So that's a good tool. And obviously we want to make sure that if we are sharing information like that from a business profile, that we're using trusted sources so that we're not, contributing to spreading misinformation about what's going on. Another thing that you can do too is promote other businesses in your area. So do you have business connections? Now's a good time to kind of work together to kind of cross promote each other. Community is really important right now. So just sharing somebody else's posts can go a really, really long way. So just some tips kind of about that. I know that I've seen personally a lot of debate about people and their opinions on using humor in regards to the current situation. So although everyone handles stressful events differently, using humor to make light of current events is a really, really fine line that can easily be crossed. So instead of using humor about the coronavirus and the pandemic, share something that's relatable. So I don't know how many of you have seen this, but there was a video going around Facebook about a woman who was on a Zoom call like all of us right now and forgot she was in a team meeting and had her camera on and had to use the washroom and took her computer with her. You don't see anything, but obviously embarrassing moment, but a moment that could happen to any of us and is a good way to kind of tie in the challenges that we're all facing with these new working arrangements. So that's a good way to kind of, share a struggle by kind of making light, but you're not really talking about the pandemic and spreading fear. So spreading joy right now, obviously, is really important, but we also need to make sure that we do our part to not add to the anxiety that is circling this entire situation. Point 2, get in front of the camera. I know that this is one that people dread and they hate it, but you would be really surprised at how much of a difference this can make to staying in touch with your clients. People are at home right now, sitting in their living room or kitchen or wherever, and are looking for something to do. So you literally have potential clients just waiting for you to say hi. So take a quick couple minutes to do a virtual check-in with your clients and see how they're holding up. If it's applicable to your business, you can remind them on what you're doing during the pandemic to help out the community or how you're staying busy. It's also a great opportunity to host a workshop, live seminar, or a class, showing off what you have to offer and giving away a bit of your expertise in the short term is a foolproof way to create loyal customers in the long term. So some more tips on that. Sharing some behind the scenes photos of your new working arrangements is something that always gets a lot of traction. It shows people that you're real. It shows people the face behind your brand. Also sharing things like struggles, like what was a struggle that you faced this week or last week and how you overcame it. Sharing that, again, builds a sense of community and makes you really relatable. Even doing a quick 30-second video of yourself checking in to see how followers are doing really makes a big impact. Being real and relatable is super important all the time, but even more now. And this is a great opportunity to let your customers in, and the biggest and most successful trend on any social media platform is transparency. So it's a good opportunity to kind of tap into that. So our third point is to toot your own horn, but you want to do it tastefully. So it's great to continue to incorporate a few posts that are, you know, business as usual and talk about your brand, projects you're working on, services that you provide, but all within the moderation and consideration. Businesses and people might be stuck at home, but many are still shopping and planning for the future when they're not quarantined. So reminding people of what you do is great, but you also want to show what value you provide for people while the pandemic is going on. So by using your expertise and applying it to the COVID-19 situation, you're acting as a resource to everyone out there who's scared and could use some extra help to get through this. That's a really, really important point. A lot of time people think of social media as just a sales tool. And yes, it is a really powerful tool for sales, but it's also a really powerful tool to show people what you know. You're an expert in your field, you're an expert in your business. So use that and educate your we're really big on that with Your Soul Strategy. A lot of the advertising we do isn't necessarily about, you know, buy our services, but more tips of things that people can do themselves. And we feel like that goes a long way because you're building that rapport, and people not just look to you to buy something anymore, but they look to you to get information. And that's a really strong position to be in. So some points on that topic. Although people are working from home, or some of them not working at all, at the end of the day, people are still shopping or thinking about the future. So you want to continue to promote your services and products, but only posting about services and products and sales and sell could push people away. So it's going to be important to use a more soft sell approach until things go back to normal. That way you're still top of mind, people still know what you're doing, what you have to offer, but it's not in their face all the time. If you're in a position to do this, maybe share some extra freebies or do a giveaway or a contest. Again, it's all about building and maintaining connections for the long term. If you're not in a position to do this, something as simple as taking a few minutes to craft a post or a video to thank your followers can really make the world of difference. So point 4, and this is a really big one, but share positivity. I know across a lot of platforms, I personally have been seeing and hearing a lot of people kind of say the same thing. Is it okay to be posting happy things when the world is going through kind of a scary time? And I think one big thing to remember is at its core, social media is a place to inspire, to start conversations, and to spread good news. So let's use that to our advantage. So if you have, you know, a highlight reel that you've been holding on to of some happy family moments or some wins that you've had with your businesses, maybe some anniversaries or something you're really proud of, now is the time to share it. People want to feel hopeful, and people are looking for that encouragement. And we're in a position where we have a group of people that follow us, and we can use that to our advantage. Also a good opportunity to tie that into kind of a soft sell approach. So they kind of go hand in hand. As long as you kind of set the tone with a preliminary post stating that you know that times are really hard, but that you want to continue to uplift and inspire, your followers will be thankful for the little bit of happiness that you can infuse into their lives. To kind of circle back on that, this is a really great time to start connecting with other business owners too, sharing their posts and engaging with them on social media. Now's the time for it. We are all struggling and we're all in this together. So it's all up to us to, you know, send as much support, love, and positivity, because at the end of the day, positivity is contagious. So it's a good time to kind of focus that extra time we have on our hands being at home to create connections that we get to keep once life goes back to normal. An example of this is us at Your Social Strategy. We've obviously had to adjust our marketing efforts, and we've been including a lot more light content, specifically on our Facebook. And we get messages all the time of people saying, oh, you know what, I really needed a laugh today. Like, thanks for doing this. And we're seeing that as we continue to share that, those people then are engaging and showing interest in our stuff that is more business related. So again, it's about building connections and kind of building trust and building that rapport. So our final point, which is another big one, but find creative ways to be kind. There's a lot of kind of, I feel like, negativity, obviously, that comes with this whole situation. So kindness is contagious. It's just like positivity. So I'm sure we've all heard about the breweries that are stepping up and manufacturing hand sanitizers. Or I know I've seen a couple viral videos of families driving by local retirement homes holding up signs with words of encouragement for the residents. Just like negativity is contagious, so is positivity and kindness. So if you're not in a position where you're able to do something like that yourself, maybe consider sharing some of the stuff that's going on locally. We have been doing that a lot too, and we're seeing a lot of, increased traffic for those people and for us. So you're helping out spread positivity, but you're bringing attention to your marketing as well. At the end of the day, we're all in this together. And although we are going to get through this eventually, now's a good time to spend the time on lending kind of a helping hand and helping out other businesses. Something as simple as ordering delivery from a local restaurant and snapping a quick picture of your meal and posting that on your Facebook page saying, thanks so much, my meal was delicious. That goes a long way, and it entices people to continue to support local. So kind of in conclusion, there's a couple points that I kind of want to talk about that I think are really important to remember. Although times are uncertain right now, one thing is for certain, and that is that we will get through this. I think it's really important to note that some of today's most successful startups were founded during the last recession, which, as we all remember, took place between 2008 and 2010. So just to name a few, there was actually a lot of them, but I just picked like the top 7 most known ones. Slack, which is a company that was actually started in BC. It's a collaboration hub that kind of replaces emails and stuff, but it allows you to work together with your coworkers and your team. That was founded in 2009. Square, which is a point of sale system that lets customers pay, tip, and sign on a merchant's mobile phone or tablet, was founded in 2009 as well. Venmo, which allows you to pay or request money from friends or clients, was also founded in 2009. WhatsApp, which is a messaging app that lets users text and chat and share files and videos and all of that, was as well founded in 2009. Pinterest, which is a really big one, is a social media, a social network that was founded in 2010. Airbnb was founded in 2008. And the last and biggest one, Uber, was actually founded in 2009. So those are just 7 really, really, really big names that most of us know that are really, really successful today that started during some really, really hard times. So some of the most iconic companies of the next decade will undoubtedly flourish during these times now. So we have to remember not to give up hope, to stay positive, to stay connected, and to use those connections. Everyone here at YSS is here to offer support and advice while we face the pandemic together. As always, feel free to reach out to us for any questions or advice you might need on your marketing strategies. And don't forget, we will be sending you an email with a copy of this presentation, as well as our 50 days of social media content freebie. But we encourage you to reach out to our social media team on any questions or roadblocks that you have.
Thank you, Dominique. Why don't we just give her Sure, clap, clap.
Thank you, Dominique.
You know, it's not easy. I believe this is the first time, Dominique, you do correct me if I'm wrong. This is the first time you're doing this online?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of public speaking in general. So, you know, I had a little bit of stress leading up to this, but I made sure I was prepared and it helped take some of the
Yes,
stress.
and I think that's key for all of us, because we're not used to, you know, with WMB, we're used to being out there, being one-on-one and engagement, and we miss that. So we're so grateful to the technology that's out there with Zoom in this case, that we have this ability to stay connected. And, you know, as you touched on, Dominique, to us, Josie and I, when all this began, leadership is so important right now. It doesn't matter what business you're in. It's not to hide. You cannot hide through this or feel uncomfortable. You have to get over those fears. And yes, we're going to be on Zoom or whatever other opportunities are out there. But it's so important to show the leadership and also compassion and helpfulness at this time for everybody. As we all say, we're all in this together. And I think whatever we do and whatever capacity that we're in is what we do will be remembered and will be beneficial to you in the long run. And as a community, we are a strong community, and we're just building on that. I think we're going to be a stronger community. I think it's going to be a different world a little bit when all this passes. Any comments? So I want to go through my Zoom group chat here. Oh, well, thank you, Annette. Awesome job. There you go. Lori, great messages. Janet, great job. You did a fabulous job. Thank you for all these wonderful comments. This was really helpful and gave me some fun marketing inspiration to share some positivity. From Scott from Hawthorne Kitchens. Thank you, Scott. Chantel, thumbs up. Chantel is Dominique's mom, and she's a lovely lady and a great supporter to our network as well. So I'm so glad that you're on with us. And mom and dad are very proud. So there you go.
Thanks, Mom.
And Bonnie, thanks, Dominique. Great message. I look forward to the files. And thanks so much, Gabby, Josie, Dominique, and Mike for this. And thank you for all your kind questions. Obviously, no other questions that you may have. And as Dominique mentioned, you can certainly reach out to your social strategy with any direct questions. And I think Josie, you want to talk about a little bit of something that's coming up? And while you're we're planning.
You know, when this first happened, just quickly, Gabby and I, of course, called each other, and we started to use Zoom for the very first time, really about 2 weeks ago. And, you know, what I'm astounded by is somehow together, within 72 hours, and all the wonderful people in our network, we were able to create a month's worth of presentations that are coming up. Really, it's unprecedented times, but I think it could bring out the most creative and the best in each of us. Like Dominique was saying, there's such great opportunity right now to help each other out. And quite frankly, like Gabby says, in the future, that's remembered. I think all our ties will be much stronger with each other. But I'm very excited to let you know that our next presenter next Tuesday is going to be Sherry Lachine. She's the founder of Broadmind. She'll be talking about mental health first aid, because it's going to affect all of us, right? If you have kids at home, if your spouse is at home with you all day long, you're going to need strategies to deal with that. So beautiful Sherry is going to be talking and giving us some tips as well. And you'll be able to ask her questions too at the end of the presentation. We're also planning, we're very excited about this. You know us, all of you, very well. We are planning a party online, and that's your first hint. What's to come? Thank you, Gabby. So please stay tuned. More details will be in our next newsletter, which is out April the 9th. So we're very excited about that. There'll be prizes. It's just a great opportunity for all of us to come together and have a good time and just build each other up a little bit. So thank you, everybody, for sitting down and listening in, and for your very kind comments as well. So Gabby, my dear, you want to end this?
Yes. So once again, we're not alone. We're one big community of support for each other. And last but not least, as I always like to say, is stay encouraged, And if there's, remember, when there's no sunshine, be the sunshine. So enjoy your day. Thank you so much for being part of our first presentation. Greatly appreciated. Thank you, Mike Hepburn and Dominique. And thank you to all for being part of our network, and we'll just keep growing. Have a fabulous week and stay healthy and well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care, everybody.